the only way you can grow as an individual, whether you're a man or a woman, is if you step out of your comfort zone. Even if your brain tells you, don't, stop, or convinces you, hey, this might be a little too much. However, if you are, for example, investing in your health, in your fitness, in your confidence, so that you can become the best mother you can be, the best partner you can be, the best version of yourself you can be. That is an investment for you, to you, and that requires a level of discomfort, stepping out of your comfort zone. Because that version that you're thriving to become is successful. And in order to become successful, you need to start taking actions like a person who's successful. Because if you take small actions, poor actions, actions, you will remain poor. You will remain fat. You will remain unhappy. If this resonates with you at all, this video is specifically made for you. Hit subscribe button on YouTube, hit my follow button on Instagram. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if I personally think back at all the times that I've been uncomfortable, my brain telling me, Brian, do not do this. It's only gotten me stronger mentally and physically. My brain was doing its job trying to protect myself. Doesn't mean that the decision that's pretty scary is a bad decision. It means that is an uncomfortable one. And if you dream success, you need to make successful decisions. If you think small, you will always be small. For example, I'm gonna go down the list of, and I really thought about this before this video, I'm really gonna go down a list of the many times I felt uncomfortable. And you know what? It's become a lot easier making uncomfortable decisions now at this moment because I have three businesses. I have a child. I have a lot of responsibility in my head. I'm taking care of my family, my mother, my grandmother. And years ago, the Brian back then would hesitate in major decisions. Now I don't hesitate. I just make the decision that is required, feelings aside, because of practice. For example, I jumped off a plane in Hawaii. I went skydiving. You know how much my physical body told me not to jump when I was in this plane? Thousands of feet in the air. My body physically did not want to jump off the plane, but I did. My body did not want to step into the plane knowing that it's gonna hop off, knowing that I may die or I may survive. Just really think about that. I went skydiving in Hawaii. Another time was when I went all in into my fitness business. I was in college. I believe I was perhaps a junior in college. And I was in a crossroads. I wasn't sure whether I should go all in my fitness business because I only loved fitness. I didn't really know anything about it about 15 years ago. Or I should take the advice of my mother, my uncle, who had security in their jobs, 9-to-5ers. They were like, you should become a doctor, you should be a nurse. You have the flexibility of a schedule, you have steady income coming in. I am the first entrepreneur in my family. And I went all into my fitness business when everybody said don't do it. Even my ex-girlfriend told me not to do it. You need stability. And I'm making more than $250,000 easy. Another scenario is when I stepped into a ring to fight. This was when I was 29, I think, 2 years ago. I was scared shitless stepping into a ring. It's one thing training for a fight, or matter of fact, just training, learning how to kickbox. Then deciding and telling your coach, hey, I'm ready to take this fight and step into the ring. Then actually signing the contract that you will step into the ring. Then 6-week fight camp. Then the night of the event, stepping in, looking into your opponent's eyes from the other side of the ring, knowing that is either going to be him or you that's going to be stepping out as the winner. Risking the embarrassment of being knocked out in front of your friends and family and on live stream. Imagine that. Do you think my body and my mind was telling me not to do this? Absolutely, yes. It was telling me not to do it. I'm going to be vulnerable here. As a father now of a 5-month-old, deciding to have a child was one of the most difficult things, because mentally I knew at some point I wanted to be a father, but I understood that I was never going to be ready, that financially I was never going to be comfortable to bring in life into this world. And did I choose the correct partner to have a child with? These are all three things that a parent, especially a man, struggles with. Hesitation. Don't do it. Don't finish. My child was planned. It was not a mistake. Was there a little voice inside of me saying, don't do it? Absolutely. And it's the best decision I ever made. Going back into my high school days, deciding to have a serious relationship with a girl. This could be maybe somewhat relatable. Should I be serious with a girl? Should I not? I was seeing so many girls. Like, why be stuck with one? And I had this mentality when I was in high school. Same thing in college. Same thing with my partner today. Should I take this step forward and be extremely serious with this one partner? That's a huge deal. Do you think my body and my mind was telling me not to? Absolutely. And it's the best decision I ever made, because it brought my daughter here. And my partner helped me with my businesses. When I first got into my fitness business, I fell in love with the stress relief of working out. Mind you, I was 135 pounds before I started researching in fitness. When I started, right before I started my personal training business 14 years ago, I weighed 135 pounds. I gained 70 pounds of muscle. Do you think in the span of a year that I gained 70 pounds of muscle, do you think there was a little voice in my head every afternoon and every morning telling me, Brian, you don't need to go to the gym. You look fine either way. Absolutely. Your mind tries to keep you as comfortable as possible. But it's your job to be conscious about that. Take the information in hand, the decision that you want. Do I really want this? Yes. And the second thought would be, how can I use this as my advantage? Is this going to be a phenomenal story going forward? If I Look at the positives. What's going to be the end result? What's the best case and worst case scenario? So going all the way back into the first option, I jumped off a plane. Best and worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I died. Best case scenario, there's only less than 1% of people in the world that step off a plane, especially in Hawaii. That makes me unique. That gives me a story to tell my friends, my family, business partners, and my children going forward. Makes me unique. Go all in into entrepreneurship in my fitness business when there were so many naysayers, especially my family. You know how many businesses open up and fail within the year, and I've been open for years. It's my 15th year in the fitness industry. Stepping into a ring. Well, you know what? Let's go back. Best case scenario, worst case scenario in the fitness business. Best case scenario, I put so much money and so much time into it. If it fails, okay, great. I just found one route in which it did not work, but I could still be a business owner elsewhere. Worst case scenario, it just crashes and burns. Cool. I can always go back to being a nurse, being a doctor, just like my family did. But there's always going to be that voice in my head. What if you did this? What would have been my life if I pursued XYZ? That's best and worst case scenario. Stepping into the ring, best case, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I win. It's a phenomenal story. Again, less than 1% of not a human being, just like the jumping off the plane. 1% of man steps into a ring. That puts me in an elite category of man in the world. Think about that. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I get knocked out, I lose, I get embarrassed. Okay, big deal. The world does not revolve around me. I'll probably be a joke for a week and then that's it. But the experience that I still get, that's still a perk. That's still a win. That's still a positive. Deciding to have a child. Worst case scenario, I chose a horrible partner. Worst case scenario, I can't keep my finances up, but I still have a daughter to mold to become a better version than myself. Best case scenario, she becomes the best daughter she could ever be. I started a family in which I always wanted to because I never grew up with a father. I could be the best father in the world because I never had the taste of one. Worst, best case scenario. Built 70 pounds of muscle. And man, I would not have been as successful as I am today at 193 pounds if I still weighed 130 pounds and I was a stick. 15 years as a trainer. Absolutely not. So let me tell you this is the decision you are making right now that's hesitating, in which you do not want to step forward and decide, hey, this is going to be the best investment for me. This is going to be the best decision of my life. This is going to change my life. This is going to bring me confidence, bring me abundance, bring me success in and outside my personal life. That one decision of whether joining a training program with a coach, period, can change your life forever. But it's that little voice inside your head that tells you, you know what? Why don't you think about it? You know what? Why don't you digest it for a day? Hell, you've been a man or a woman, and I train women, 30, 35 years making decisions the same way you're trying to make this decision. And this is why you're unhappy. This is why you're overweight. This is why you are not the best role model for your kids, and you're not the best partner you can be. So change, or else you're going to be stuck like this forever and you're going to be unhappy. And you're going to end up divorced, a horrible mom, and you're going to resent your children and your family. Trust me, I know. I've been in this business for 15 years. I've seen it come and go. So I tell you, ladies, when it's time to make that decision, weigh up the options. What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And 9 times out of 10, the best case scenario is you're either going to lose time or money. Well, that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that you're going to become the best version you can be. Money comes and goes here. How many times have you bought something expensive that you regretted after a year or 5 years or 10 years? You're still alive. You're still surviving. You're still feeding your kids. You're still feeding yourself. You're still feeding your partner. That's worst case scenario. Money comes and goes. Time? Absolutely, you waste time. But is it worse? Is it more time that you're wasting not taking a step forward? You wasted already 30 to 35 years of your life being fat, being the worst version of yourself. Or you can just waste 6 months and try this journey out. Or best case scenario, you lose 20 or 30 pounds, you become confident, you become successful, you become the best version you could be the best mom you can be, you best partner you can be, and you don't resent anyone and you're happy. I think that outweighs the negatives. So do me a favor, before you say, I'm gonna think about it, before you say no, before you say, hey, you know what, maybe after the holidays, think about this conversation. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, to avoid anything bad. But just like I jumped off a plane, which could be bad, just like I went all into my fitness business instead of a 9-to-5 job and stability, that could have been bad. Just like I stepped into a ring to fight, that could have been bad. Just like I decided to have a child when I wasn't ready, that could have been bad. Get serious with a girl, that could have been bad. But guess what? Just because I chose a bad decision on my first girlfriend ever 20 years ago, was I still dating after that? Yes. Did I find my partner? Yes. Did I have children after that? Yes. Why? Because I took that leap 20 years ago. So take that leap. Do not hesitate. Don't waste more time. If this hit you in a different way, on my bio, you can click the link. You can see if I can help you out. Okay, I change lives for a living, especially women. Tone, be the best versions that you can be. Or if this just touched you and you want more of this, subscribe. Or follow me on Instagram @abarca.fitness. Thank you.